Why, hello, it is I, Jono, and I thought I would do a follow-up video on my video game progress so far. I can't believe it's been a month already since uploading a playthrough, essentially, of a little tiny slice of my game, JonoWorld. And I thought it might be interesting, to talk about some of the sound design and audio that's going on, because there's a ton of it going on. And I'm basically going to have a little walkthrough, but also talk about things as I go through certain areas and, discuss things. And eventually I'm going to actually make some tutorials showing how to do all this stuff. Basically, I have a Patreon. If anyone is interested in supporting this ridiculous endeavour of actually making a video game, then everything will be used to keep the lights on and also make the game. And I'm going to be uploading a lot of tutorial videos on Patreon of how to do this using Cubase, Nuendo, WYs, Unity, and sound design stuff, and anything else that's related to it. But obviously no worries if not, and I'll just keep plodding on and seeing how far this journey goes. But okay, so let's have a look at the screen, and I've just finally got the Stream Deck working with the PC, which is good. I'm going to load this up as a build instead of in the editor, and there are many reasons why. My frame rate being the first thing. My computer is 14 years old. Honestly, it hates me completely. Right. So this is the game menu, and as you just heard there, there's a musical sting that's playing as soon as it loads, and there's an ambience track going on, and there are many musical stings. I didn't want to create a loopable piece of music. It's just like the amount of people that say this kind of stuff. It's like I didn't want. See, I wanted eerie. I wanted a vibe. Some things in games and some people's ideas I think are really dated. Sure, you could have a bit of loopable music or whatever, but I didn't want that. So when you select anything here, this is not finished yet. There's so many things to create for the menu. A menu is actually really deep to actually get right, and right now I've just got this, so when you click on anything, there's a non-offensive, positive reinforcement sound that does not ear fatigue, because that is important. You can't have beep 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 on everything you do. So yeah, basically we've got settings here. Like I said, my computer is just so old now. Like, we're gonna run it on very high. Everything I've been making is in 1080p anyway. I mean, there's tons of 4K stuff, but let's just see how this goes. We can lower the quality and stuff if the frame rate is really, really bad. New game. Okay, so here's my loading scene, and there might be a little tiny bit of music here. It depends.
Let's get through this place.
Okay, we're in Bareback Mountain, and as you can hear, it is a very gusty day. Bareback Mountain is very unforgiving. You probably know that by now. So there's a ton of stuff that's going on already, and I'm going to try and make this video so it's not 20 hours long, but sometimes these things can get out of hand. So obviously we've got an ambience track here of heavy wind, and on top of that we can hear bird noises. I don't want to go down here, this secret area. Okay. You can hear the player breathing as well. Now, the breathing is going to be tied into the stamina system. So when I walk, I have walking, crouch or sneak, and then sprint. Now each of these I've created custom footsteps for every surface as well. But if you hear the crouch, they're quieter, but they're also your heel and toe. It's a longer sample, a longer sound. If I walk, there's more cloth sound, but the steps are shorter. And if I sprint, much shorter footsteps and louder as well and brighter. There's also, the player has jump and landing. So if I jump and land, you'll hear firstly the actual gravel sound, and it's different every time. Everything is randomized, and there's a huge amount of audio. I think already there's 9 gigs of audio that I've created, which is quite a lot. If I go on the snow, you can hear the snow, and if I jump on the snow, you can hear the snow landing, and you can hear equipment as well. Because obviously you've got to be tooled up if you're in Bareback Mountain, man. Okay. Right, you can hear the birds in the background. And also, I wanted real birds, so you can hear crows and see crows. Look at him. The crows are just temporary, but just to demonstrate, I created death sounds so you can actually shoot the crows. There's probably going to be a mini game. I don't want to ruin things, but I wanted ambient birds to be here to give vibe, but that just wasn't enough. Like, I wanted to actually have real birds flying around that you can interact with. And my god, there's probably about 80 different bird samples that I've cleaned up and cut up and edited. But you can also hear with this JonoWorld 2, the movie, billboard, you can hear all the metal creaking. And there's a ton of randomization with that as well. I'll go through the weapons in a second, but I think all these details add up to a much better experience. Okay, so the next thing, if we're walking here, river. Now, if I turn my head, you can hear that in headphones as it's still positioned. It's still actually positioned in front of me. But it's not positioned in the sense of when you just hard turn. And I'll do a video on this. It's basically using something called spread and focus in WYs to allow this. If I walk around the river, you can hear the river is completely even wherever I am, and like it would be in real life. Like, you wouldn't just turn your head and then it'd be behind you. But the further we go back, you can hear it panning. I think it's a nice blend. Something I should say as well, I really wanted the vegetation to react as we're walking on different surfaces like gravel and then snow. I wanted the grass to react as well, and the bushes, and so the grass is actually interactive. You can not only hear that, but you can see that I'm walking through the grass, and there's going to be a very good reason for that in any future video. I don't want to give too much away. But you can hear me walking through grass now. Here's snow. And you can hear the grass. And same with the landings, like, so you hear equipment there and the snow. I'm probably going to add a bit more powder sounds on the actual jump. But in here we can hear the landing on grass. And the landings are on every surface, so we'll prove that. We'll go across the river. I was intending to have a much bigger sequence here at the start for my MFA submission, but honestly I had so many problems with bugs, and still do, that I didn't. But this was going to be intended to be a little tutorial of learning how to press the jump button, because it's tricky, and jumping across the river, so we will. You can hear I've now jumped on metal. Okay, let's jump again. You can hear the crow sounds as well. Frame rate's dropping. Okay, I'm gonna now jump in.
It's so cold!
So in the water, because it's freezing cold, obviously being Icelandic or whatever, being Baltic, if you go in the water, it actually is going to damage your health. But I actually turned that off when I made this build, so I haven't finessed it yet. But if we jump in again, and it's completely randomised again.
Oh my god, I'm gonna die!
I'm gonna die. There's loads of different variations, and also paddling sounds. So if we jump back in.
It's freezing! Oh my god!
Okay. Okay, so these arrows here, these are like points of interest, and you see them on the compass, and they come up, and we have a mini-map and stuff like that. So when we actually hit a point of interest, for some weird reason, my custom-made Bareback Gate A banner is missing on this build as well, so this does tie into that, of reading.
Bareback Gate A, huh? Looks like it's seen better days.
So something that I've created on these are musical stings, and every time you hit a point of interest you hear the sting, and a vocal line as well, because I want the vocals to come from the player, not just be some weird magical lute or some instrument that you find like an ocarina out of Zelda or something like that. I wanted it to be a bit more realistic. Okay, bullet impacts. Cartridge impacts, shell empty casings. If I fire this, the empty casings on this are not coming out in the right place at the minute, but it doesn't matter. Like the actual audio is. You heard that? That actually hit the snow. There's basically different types here. Like it's not just snow. If it goes in the grass, it goes through grass first and then hits the snow. But I've only got 6 bullets, so I didn't really think this through. You could hear that it goes through grass and then snow. But I'm not going to waste my ammo because I'm going to kind of need it. More footsteps here. Rubble. Okay, and now we're going to go into Bareback Gate A, which is a sheltered open area. And so we are now sheltered. You can still hear the grass. The grass is still blowing. Still hear the wind. And obviously we can hear these irritating crows. But if we go back out, we're back outside in the wild. And I've done this again. I'll do a tutorial on ambience changes, but if I go out again, you'll notice it does not use the same looping point or anything like that. It's completely different. Okay, so let's go through here. Again, landings on the metal. Rubble. All the details. There's just so much more to do as well. Okay, we're going to go up here.
That water's scalding hot. I can't get through there until I shut it off.
Okay, right, so I'm going to leave it running. I've given the player choice here. You could actually turn it off now, but if you go through here without talking to our character that is called Jizz, then nothing happens, because I've actually designed this specifically to be gated progression, as in you must do the quest in order to actually get through this whole area. But what I've done is I've used visual scripting to do all of this. If I walk into this steaming hot tap, I damage myself, and I can't get through. Breakables. So now I'm going to actually get a first aid kit.
That's exactly what I needed.
And again, more dialogue, but also the sound of like bandages and stuff like that. Other breakables like bottles, watermelon. Okay, so I'm really excited about the dialogue in this so far, because I've never done any voice acting, and I've also got a few friends that are really good at it, and they're going to do some characters soon. And I did all of the voice acting in this just because I had to get it done. I had to work on stuff, and I really wanted there to be voice acting in it. However, at the moment, if I skip the dialogue doesn't stop. It carries on playing, so it becomes this cacophony of insane sounds. So we're going to listen to all the dialogue, otherwise it will be ridiculous.
Holy shit. Holy shit. If it isn't my guardian angel coming to save my ass. Please, I've been locked in this cage for days. Why would I help you? You're obviously in that cage for good reason, and I don't talk to strangers, especially ones locked in cages. You don't talk to strangers? Then how are you ever gonna make any new friends, man? Please get me out of here. If you help me, I can help you get through the main gates.
I should say, a reason I've specifically chosen to leave the birds here and stuff. You could duck it all out and stuff, but I'm gonna have to talk between
you. Know how to get through the main gates. Give me a break.
It's set on a timer as well. Yeah, I didn't want to duck things here, because I think it takes it out, because why would it? If you were standing there having a real conversation, all the audio would be the same, right? And you can hear... I think I'm going to talk again.
Man, I'm not lying. You see that terminal up there? Well, that opens the main gates. But you need a key to open the door to get to it. Otherwise, you're going nowhere. And you might as well just be in this cage with me.
It also demonstrates the water behind me with the 3D positioning.
Let me guess. You know where the key is. How convenient.
And also you can hear randomized metal creaking to give the whole area a sort of a derelict vibe. You'll hear it come in and out.
I know exactly where it is. I stole it from the son of a bitch that threw me in here. Look, it's right there sitting on my toilet. There. Look, man, we can help each other out here. I need to get out of this cage so I can get back to my family. And you need my key to get into Bareback Mountain. What do you say, man? Help a friend out? We're not friends. Okay, so if I do this, how am I even supposed to get up to the terminal? I don't know if you've noticed, but this platform is blocked.
A game that does this where it doesn't duck any of the audio is Fallout 4. It's got an amazing dialogue system, but explosions
That's
happen.
easy, man. The key to my cage opens up these lower doors. I watched the guard use it before they got overrun by the infected.
Explosions happen and all sorts of stuff, and I haven't played it for so long, and I watched a video on it and I thought, man, I can't remember it being like that. So I went with a similar way.
I think someone was playing with grenades or something, because they've made a right mess of these cages. So you could walk through here, unlock the last cage, and then head on upstairs to that computer. This sounds far too easy. If this is a trap, I'm gonna cut your ass cheeks off. So, where is this key? Well, that's the difficult bit. I just don't know. Try looking in the yard, but those assholes barricaded up that entrance over there, so you have to get through that first. And watch your back. This place is infested.
Okay, so the dialogue system that I'm making is multiple choice, obviously. If I clicked on I don't have time for this, the player then has choice not to actually do this, but because this is designed to be gated progression, if you don't do this, then you will have to go through the whole conversation again right now, which is what we don't want to do. So we're going to click on right, I guess I'm looking for the key then.
Right. I guess I'm looking for a key then.
We've got new quests.
Don't go anywhere.
And the cell door key picked up here. And now I'm free to do whatever. Or not free to do whatever, but... Okay, so we're going to go through here. We're going to shut the water off. And when I do this, for some reason I forgot to highlight it. We hear the squeak. And then I've scripted this so all the water disappears. And then we can finally walk through. And... these zombies right now, they just stand there. The barrel fires explode as well, although they go out slightly out of time because the script I'm using is bullshit. And okay. I'm actually going to kill myself now. I'm going to let him kill me. Very vicious. Very vicious. I did this particular zombie.
Oh, no!
Okay, so now a heartbeat starts playing when I have low health.
Oh, man!
I'll talk more about
this is worse than a hangover.
I'll talk more about the zombies in a minute. Yeah, so what you heard then when I died, basically you heard a musical sting and a death sound of and also the zombies themselves and basically what happened there. Yeah, okay, I might as well talk about the zombies at the minute. You're hearing an idle sound. Again, set so it doesn't play back too often, otherwise you'll get so tired of it, but there's probably about 20 idle sounds, so you're never going to hear the same thing back to back. But I wanted the musical sting. I might let her kill me again. I wanted the musical sting to not be irritating, not be annoying to the ear, but sinister, but memorable in the sense of... I wanted the player to recognise that when you die, you have a brand association with that, a sonic branding. So I'm going to die again. And that... I might as well give a shout out right now to a good friend of mine, Mr. Benny Curtis, who did the voice acting of some of these zombies. I did the rest, so I'm probably going to do a lot more. Oh my god. Right. Sorry, Benny. Okay, notice that he's got like a fire torch, so the sound designer did for this zombie as well. Come on. They're so stupid. Okay, so the music there is different. The audio sting's different.
Oh man, this is not my day.
But sounds similar, and not sure what's going on with the ambience there, but okay, let's go through here. Explodable crates, obviously. Have you ever wondered who goes around putting first aid kits in crates? Somebody does. Okay, so you can't pick up any health in this game unless you need it. Okay, Benny did these two. When you shoot a zombie, there's a injured sound. Obviously, they're attack sounds. And there's also blood as well, if you hear the blood splashing. Okay, might have to deal with these. It's very violent. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and in this ambient. Okay, so we've got an ambience change now. There's the generator sound. Blood on the floor. Oh my god. And when I jump as well, you can hear a reverb. Zombie footsteps. Why aren't you coming in here? Why? Why can't it see me? It's so weird. Anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen, Benny Curtis. Goodbye, Benny. Okay, so if I walk through here...
Holy shit. These are my favorite boots.
He may or may not say something. It depends. It's set to a randomised chance. Obviously, we've got flies that are 3D positioned and the blood.
At least I'm not gonna die.
And reverb on the vocals. Probably a bit much.
For God's sake. These are my favorite boots.
Okay, so up we go, and then notice that we have ambience change. We're back basically outside again, and a generator. Oh. I wanted there to be many different ambience changes here. So when we go through here, you'll notice that the volume actually drops. You can still hear the generator, but the ambience is far less intense. And we go back here, and now we have power generators here. And for the first time, you can't... Well, that's not true. Downstairs it was the same. You can still hear bird sounds very faintly. But back here, it's completely dead. Like, there's no bird sounds. Because there just wouldn't be. Oh, no. Oh, man. I take that back. I need to change that. There shouldn't be any bird sounds here, so something's gone wrong. But okay, console. You can hear the machine noise, I guess. And this is in case the player hasn't got the key yet and thinks that they're going to get through here. You're not.
Access denied.
And the
Access denied.
comes out of here.
Bareback Gate A is under lockdown. Unauthorized use of terminal has now resulted in self-destruct failsafe. Have a great day, and welcome to Bareback Mountain.
Okay, so you can hear that had reverb on it as well. Like there, I'll do a video on reverbing zones, but this has all got reverb in here because it would reverberate. Okay, the key.
Ah, finally. The lower cell door key. Let's get back to it.
Bit of reverb on the voice.
I'm starting to feel better.
No reverb on that one for some reason. These birds are wild. I mean, where do they come from?
Not again.
Okay, so for some reason this ambient change isn't working when I come out here. I don't know what I've messed up. I don't even know if I can get through it now. You idiot. Okay, I did. Good. Yeah, something's gone on with the wind ambience here. This should sound like... Let me go in here. Okay. the wind ambience should sound like this. That's what it should sound like. But so something's messed up, but hey, I'll have to fix it. Okay, another thing about the dialogue is I want the player to actually choose whether they actually want to actually do whatever they want. So I should have showed this before I collected the key. If I actually engage in conversation now...
Hey man, please tell me you've got some good news and found the key. Things are getting desperate in here.
Basically, if I hadn't found the key, there wouldn't be this option here, which is how you progress the conversation and the story. It would have just been these two options here. So if I just choose one of these... Basically, what I dislike in video games is when you actually talk to an NPC and they say the exact same thing every time. It gets so repetitive. So I've created this so currently in this scenario he says 3 different things, and I can't imagine anyone ever wanting to actually try 3 different things to not progress through here. But if I click on this, for example, he will say something else when we engage conversation.
Patience is a virtue. I'm still looking. Well, please hurry, man. I need to take a shit and there's no toilet paper left. I can't use my t-shirt anymore. For God's sake. You're just as bad as those things out there. Don't worry, I'll be back in a few days.
Okay, so now I've been let back in control. If I talk to him again, what should happen is he should say something different this time instead of it being the same thing.
Where have you been, man?
Yeah.
I thought you left me. Things have got so desperate in here. Have you found the key?
So that's a different thing that he said. And then we can now choose something else. If we didn't want to choose that, let's pretend that that option wasn't there. Then you could ask him something else.
Why are things getting desperate in there? I've only been gone for a few minutes. You don't want to know, man. Please, hurry. I'm still looking. Hold on.
All things that are basically saying the same thing, but different. Okay, so now I'm going to look for the key, and I found the key, and now...
Oh, thank God you're back.
Says something
I
different
don't think I
again.
can hold on for much longer, man. Things are getting beyond desperate in here.
I just think the detail of that is important, because you're trying to always not be repetitive. So I'm now going to say I found the key.
Relax. I found the key. Well, I found a key. And I bumped into a few of your nasty-looking friends out there. So, you still want out of the cage? 'Cause it looks like you're having a great time. Please, open the door. I need to get out of here. Well, you best hope Lady Luck is still on your side.
I'm also going to make it so the weapon gets put away, because it's a little bit rude, isn't it, pointing a shotgun at someone when you're trying to talk to them. There's the metal creaking in the background.
I'm not religious, man, but I've just started praying.
Yes.
Okay, let's try the key. I can't listen to any more of your bitching.
No, neither can I. Okay, so now I've got it so the door highlights. Okay, and let's just stand here, and if I'm going to press use to unlock, you'll hear an unlocking sound, all of which there are many of, and randomizations. And then we'll open it, and then there's an open sound. Okay, so now...
Oh my God. I thought I was gonna die. In here. In this shithole. I can't say thanks enough, man. I almost forgot. What's your name, man? I'm Jono. Well, Jono, I'm Jizz, and I'm forever in your debt, man. You never know when you might need a friend in Bareback. Good luck and be careful out there, man. It's a goddamn nightmare. I gotta go and find my family and wash this shit off me. May we meet again, friend.
Okay, so that was quite a good example of showing volume attenuation, of him getting further away and things sounding more distant. I'll do a video on that. Okay, so he said his key was on the toilet, so there it is.
I am the Keymaster.
Let's go back outside. And you hear the ambience right now of the wind. And it's sheltered, but we can still hear the grass. And it's now really sheltered. We can still hear grass and we can still hear birds, but it's been low passed, it's been EQ'd. And if I jump, there's some reverb. But also, if you have a keen ear, when I jump, you hear the wind. So something I wanted to do was explore making wind sounds, like from the top here. I wanted this to be really windy up here. Yeah. And when we're down here, it's just tickling the ears. So let's go in here. You can hear it up here. When I jump down. So now let's get out of here. Let's unlock the door. You heard the ambience change there. And now when we go up here, you can hear the wind. Let's go back down. The wind is gone again, or the gusts. And if I fall down the hole, I like that kind of detail. And again, all work in progress, but you know, takes a while. You silly, silly sod. Oh, I spoke too soon. Right, so now the arrow, we've got another point of interest. So now I explained that there's a musical sting under it, and a bit of dialogue. You'll hear that now.
Finally. What a pain in the ass that was. Let's see if this key works and get through the gates.
Okay, so we can finally open the gates, or
Access
maybe
granted.
not. Directional mega horns, sirens.
You gotta be kidding me. God, nothing simple, is it? I guess I gotta go over there then.
Okay, so we got a siren, the terminal sound, the actual door creaking and opening, and then there's, you can't hear it from here because I've made it so you can't, but there is the smoke sound as well, and then obviously the door over here opens to tell the player, and if you miss the dialogue tells the player, but the door opens and we've got to go over there. So I'm going to crouch, and then we're out of the heavy wind again, and we're going to go over there. Yeah, so also notice the birds. Yeah.
That didn't sound good.
Okay, so I had to put in a classic horror trope there. If you notice when we go in here, the birds are cold to a certain amount. Well, you can still hear them, but that's not a good example actually, because it's not changing the wind there.
This is nasty.
Okay.
Oh my God! What happened here? Did you eat your friends?
Okay, so we can get through here now. And here's the smoke sound. Frame rate's going mental. Okay, so we can get through, finally.
Access granted. Welcome to Bareback Mountain, the #1 holiday destination. Enjoy going bareback.
Right, so when obviously the terminal did its thing, then the doors started opening and creating these grinding screeches, and when the doors finally open or start opening, there's an actual wind gust that starts coming in, and then the grass reacts with the doors, and then the doors hit the side, and there are these gear change sounds that I created, and then of course there's a megaphone announcement, and this wind eventually dies down because I just wanted the wind to actually blow through and react. So let's get out of here. A bit sheltered again, and of course wind. I think wind would be blowing through here. These birds are amazing, they just keep flying through concrete walls. Okay, so we're gonna go, well, yeah, and then we're gonna go up here. You notice the wind is now much heavier. I'm going to jump over here, and then we're going to go down, and obviously we're sheltered from the wind, so that changed.
Bareback Mountain.
Okay, so we've got a little barrel fire here. Changes on distance. And we've got, well, zombies lurking around. Gotta reload. Frame rate is going wild. Why are you just looking at me, idiot? Okay, I know there's an old crone somewhere around here. There's no basic way past, that's what they're called, when you set AI up to walk on certain paths. They're just randomly walking around, so every time I even play this, I only roughly know what's in each area. Okay, this is a zombie I did. I know there's an old crone about.
A cabin. Maybe it's time for a cup of tea.
Maybe. There's kind of something unnerving about these things in the grass. Maybe, here's the old crone. Transsexual Benny. I got Benny to voice act an old crone, and he did an outstanding job at sounding like a woman zombie. So loads of surfaces have different sound effects going on as well. Like, so when you walk over branches, you can hear the snapping of twigs and stuff. Okay, so let's go in the cabin. I should walk on this. Other surfaces of wood. Food bubbling away, fire. See the phone call. But also I've created a lot of stuff to randomise windows banging and moving. So again, when you come out of the cabin, we're in real windy, a real windy ambience again. But when we go in, I wanted it to sound like a rickety old cabin. So, something else as well in here. It's not answer the phone yet. If I... Oh. Hello?
You shouldn't have come here, boy. It's not polite to answer another man's telephone in another man's house. And no doubt you're thinking about helping yourself to that delicious meal. Oh, yes. I see everything. I've been watching you, expecting you, and predictably, here you are, making yourself at home.
You're very perceptive. Except for the slop bubbling away. I wouldn't feed that to my favorite hooker, or my dog.
Let's be honest now. I know you don't have a dog.
And how do you know that?
I already told you. I see everything. I know everything.
Who are you? You sound like a pedophile.
Now, there's no need for such crassness, Jono. Who I am is unimportant, unlike the things that you are about to do for me.
I'm not doing anything, especially for a psychopath like you.
Name-calling is very uncouth, Jono.
How do you know my name?
I won't repeat myself, boy. As you're feeling so childish, how about we play a little game? You like games, don't you? Is what brought you back to Bareback in the first place.
You have no idea why I'm in Bareback, and I have no time for this nonsense, so I'm gonna hang up the...
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
And why is that?
Because I know you surely don't want to add any more regrets to your already long list of regrets, do you? Now, about that game. After your subtle entrance into Bareback, you have no doubt already been introduced to our friends of the undead variety. They have their uses, but from time to time, they can be a nuisance and get in the way of plans. Our plans.
So you can also hear the birds as well. They've been culled. They're still there, but they're very quiet compared.
Yeah, I bumped into a few of your boyfriends. What plans are you talking about?
You would still hear birds in a wood cabin, you know.
Would you let me finish? Is that okay?
Is that okay?
Ahead of you is an old diner, just past the crossroads. It's one of Bareback's first unsightly tourist establishments before things took a wild turn. A better turn, I might add. You are to head to the diner, but be careful. You are not alone in these woods, and your reckless attention-seeking entrance into Bareback has garnered many eyes and ears on you.
Whining and dining me already, huh? Well, that's good of you, but I think I'm gonna have to pass.
I know why you're here, who you're looking for. Oh yes, yes, I know all about her. If you would like to see her again, you had best head to the diner like the loyal dog you wish you had and await further instructions. Oh, what fun.
And the phone hangs up.
Good God, this place is just getting weirder by the minute. Whoever that was, I'd best watch my back. But he was right about one thing. I am here for a reason. I'd best check this diner out. And maybe have a look around and see if there's any supplies, ammunition, health. Definitely not the slop. Looks disgusting and smells of rat piss.
Right, okay. So, I guess we should have a look at the... well, okay, here's a good example of the birds in the cabin. You would actually have to hear them much louder, actually, with the door open. That's something I'm going to look at. But just actually affecting it that much is, I think, a nice touch. Oh.
This place is disgusting. Much appreciated.
Get me out of here!
Okay, I'm not going to talk too much about this because it's going to be another little story idea. Let's just leave him, shall we? That's the polite thing to do here. Just forget we saw that. I think maybe the shotgun's a little bit overpowering. Shut up, Benny. Again, the barrel fires do actually injure.
Oh, man!
So, I haven't set these up with all the zombies because there was just so much work to do, but you heard them impact on the snow then. Every surface they land on will have an impact eventually. Benny. It's a good showcase for his dying. Or my dying, I should say.
What a nightmare.
Okay.
You're gonna regret that, boy.
You walk through those rocks. There's just so many things that you have to do. Okay, we're going to headshot all of these, hopefully. Water.
A bomb shelter? Looks like no one's been here for years. I'll have to come back later and investigate.
So notice that that wasn't a point of interest. That was just a bit of dialogue, because obviously there are many areas in Bareback Mountain, and for this vertical slice, I didn't want to go into any of these.
almost back in shape.
I honestly do have to ask, who is it that puts first aid kits in crates? I mean, sounds like a lot of work. Again, walking through the grass and the snow. Oh my god.
No one flies away.
Right, so another point of interest.
I guess this must be the crossroads that weird phone pervert was talking about. Right, Jono. Almost as good as new.
Oh. Oh my god, I've run out of ammo. Shocking.
IOW is recruiting now. Why wait until it's
Okay, so we got a mech. The militia.
This is sinister.
The militia are called the IOW. Little nod to the Isle of Wight.
Bareback Mountain. You are under lockdown. For fuck's sake, the crows keep shitting on the viewing cameras. Can't see where we're going.
That
Mindfulness belongs. Residents of Bareback Mountain, the IOW are here to help. You are in a lockdown. Remain safe. Remain in your home.
okay. Oh, God, there's loads to talk about with this stuff. That line that he just said was I nicknamed the outlier line because he's only supposed to say it maybe never, like maybe once, just as a real treat. You notice there as well, I've got the birds to actually land on them, so I'm going to time it so when that happens, he's going to say that.
Stay safe.
I think there's about 20 different variations of different things.
Your favorite government have this situation under control. Have a great day.
So eventually there's going to be snow tracks left as well. Like everything's going to leave snow tracks. Well, there's a ton of layers going on with the sound
Fight
design.
the fight. The IOW. Recruitment starts with you.
Yeah, the birds, they land on the mech sometimes.
Bareback Mountain is under lockdown. Trespassers will not be prosecuted. They will be executed.
Okay, so also I've got a whole different set of blood samples for walking through here. You notice that, oh
man!
how dare you when I'm talking. So we walk through here, and sometimes audio plays back, and sometimes it doesn't. I'm still sort of tweaking this. There you go. It didn't say anything.
Let's hope the diner's not too far away. Look at this place. Well, this is a nice scenic walk. This is great. Look at this place.
I don't normally like shooting bears, but they're a bit of a nuisance in Bareback Mountain.
Well, I guess I found the
God,
diner.
it looks like
Let's see what that
something's been
lunatic's
eating
talking about.
Okay, so we're going in. Obviously, ambient change. Oh, why did I do that? Again, I wanted wind to be near any open, smashed out area. And I think there's like 30 odd emitters around this just one diner. So wherever you go near the windows, you actually have gale force winds. And if we jump out, instantly changes. And of course a bit of reverb. Just because I know what's in here.
That's exactly what I needed.
Bit too much reverb there.
Let me guess. It's Bareback's favorite nut job.
Now, Jono. We really need to work on your pillow talk. I'm so glad you finally decided to show for your own party. And my word, what a soiree this is shaping up to be.
As usual, I have no idea what you're talking about. What is it you want with me? Why are you wasting my time?
Wasting time? I'm not wasting time, Jono. It is not I who is late. Now, I can see that you're extremely eager to start having some fun. And as your host this evening, I am providing you with an experience. Memories that shall last a lifetime.
I'm curious. Do you practice these lines in front of a mirror?
Oh, Jono. If only I had the time. Speaking of which, the evening is getting on a bit, isn't it? So let's start the night off with a bang. Or two. I'm sure you noticed on your relaxing walking that there seems to be a slight issue with the local residents. It's turned into quite the unruly mess out there. Frankly, it's not good for business.
Business? What business? No one in their right mind would choose to come to Bareback. It's a breeding ground of filth and horror. It's full of washed-up militia, junkies, savages, alcoholic natives, incest, dogging, felching. You name it, it's happening right here on the mountain. Which is why it's of no surprise to me why you love this place.
Well, that's just simply not true, is it, Jono? Breaks my heart to hear such a rotten attitude. This is a prestigious holiday hotspot, a vast wonder in the universe where dreams come true. Stop being such a blind tourist. I hope you don't mind, but I have invited a few guests to come along tonight, because what is a party without partygoers?
I'll talk a bit about the mech in a minute. You hear the footsteps outside, but it's all going to hell break loose in a minute.
I've delivered invitations, but I have my doubts as to whether the location of this fine eatery will be problematic to find, especially with such heavy weather. So, to ensure tonight isn't a disappointment and for your guests to find their way, I decided to repair the diner's in-house sound system. The fire alarms. After all, what kind of party doesn't have music? If the music is too loud for your tastes, Jono, then you can always turn it off. I've left a few treats for you on the roof, but do hurry. Your guests will be arriving soon, and I can imagine they are rather hungry.
Congratulations. You've just made it to the top of my shit list, and you had best hope that we never meet in person.
Oh, Jono, where's the fun in that? As always,
Generator
the
sounds in
pleasure
the
is all
background.
mine, and I'll be in touch with you soon. You'd best get your glad rags on now, as the clock is tick-tick-ticking. Or should I say, ringing.
Holy shit, this guy's off the chain. I need to go and kill the power right now, otherwise this place is going to be infested.
Okay, so here's an example of cone attenuation. Basically, the alarms are outside. And now it's just massively louder, brighter. But if I go behind the diner, you can hear that we're behind the actual megaphones. Again, I'll do a video on cone attenuation because it's really powerful. Okay, we're going to shut the shut the generator off. Now at least I shut the noise off. It's too late though. Look at this place. It's swarming. Oh my god, it's the slob. Ah. My frame rate. Oh my god.
Residents of Bareback Mountain.
We're gonna need something else here. Come on. Probably actually change the graphic settings to get the frame rate down here. Let's go off very high for a minute and put medium. If it made any difference, did it? Good God. Ah, that feels better.
Residents of Bareback Mountain, you are under lockdown. The IO Ducks are here to help.
Let's tool up. Okay, so
I needed that.
Residents of Bareback Mountain, you are under lockdown. Stay safe. Stay at home. Your favorite government has been under control.
these are vicious ones. These ones. Okay, the heartbeat started. We can't have that.
Now that feels good.
Loved ones have been bitten by the infected.
Yeah, so these zombies are super stupid, and you know, I can explain why, but I'm not going to bother. Like, my computer having 60 zombies suddenly alive is not a good thing. They were all rushing me instantly originally, and as fun as it is, my computer just said no. You run through that bin, son. You run through. No. Okay. There's so many left. Come on. Slobs. What the hell's going on there? Frame rate, man. Look at him walking.
Residents of Bareback Mountain, you
the worst shooting ever. Solid zombies. Okay, so last thing, talk about this mech. Ambient change here. You can hear the volume of him.
Fight the fight. The IO government.
This place is crawling. Did I just say that out of the game?
Bareback Mountain is under lockdown. Stay safe. Stay at home.
Probably a bit extreme here, but it's incredibly difficult to get right, so I have to keep working on it. But
Residents of Bareback Mountain, you are under lockdown. Stay safe. Stay at home. Your favorite government.
okay, well, yeah, there's all sorts of oh man, there's loads of other stuff, but I think that's a nice little chat about some of the audio that's going on. Let's go back out of here. Yes, right, so I'm going to make some tutorial videos showcasing or showing how to actually do some of this stuff very soon. I have no idea when this game is going to be finished because it's just out of hand already. And yeah, there's loads of stuff. All of it's work in progress, and some of it's better than other things. But I don't know what to say really. It's just I reckon I'm probably going to be working on this for another at least 200 years. Hopefully, only I reckon about a year and a half to be realistic. And then I guess we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed some of this, and it's shown some of the things that go on under the hood just to actually make an experience as immersive as possible. Till the next.